The ESCH team from the earliest days of the Children's Museum has given our museum an opportunity to work with top thinkers, people who have come out of high-level positions within the top industries within Houston. These are savvy people, they are knowledgeable, and they are willing to share their experience. Experience is invaluable. So by being able to work with ESCH, not only do we get the best experts in the field, but we also get the wisdom that they have accumulated through years of successful careers. And it's priceless, and it has helped us, in a sense, as an organization, stand on the shoulders of these great executives who have been successful in their careers and then who turn around and share that for the greater good of the community. The museum has been directly benefited, obviously, from business and best practices, but by having ESCH involved, we have also been able to literally impact and benefit the people who come in the door. Parents who come in the door can relax a little bit. We don't want them to, give up on their responsibility of being responsible for their children while they're in the Children's Museum. But on the other hand, they know when they walk in that we are safe, we're clean, we're well managed. They can relax and really focus on their children learning. And child safety is huge. None of us want to see a child harmed. Nobody wants to see anyone harmed. But honestly, if we did not have the support of the ESCH experts telling us how to think through the way the Children's Museum should provide services and the public space to families, I believe that we would be in a much different position. So by being able to provide safe learning opportunities, we are literally being able to fulfill our mission. If we weren't, it would not be as bona fide a nonprofit and a resource for Houston's families as it is. So with ESCH, we've had not only people who come in and look at the safety of our own workplace, because we have people that do welding and painting and then just a normal workplace, but we also have to look at 1,001 different parts basically in galleries throughout the museum. We're now up to 14 galleries, indoors and out. And because of ESCH, we have experts who walk through the building on a periodic basis who basically are available to take our calls whenever we have questions. And they are very sophisticated consultants who very thoroughly analyze what our challenges could be, what we need to do physically to maintain the building for excellence, and also the processes and the resource allocation that are necessary to ensure that we have best practices. The flip side of that also is in ensuring the building for liability, for contents, and our responsibility to the public. They make sure that, again, we have best practices, that we are thinking sort of like an insurance company would in insuring us. Are we doing the right things? But they're also helping us understand how to limit the costs that we have so that we don't basically do something stupid that ends up costing us a lot of money and actually drains our resources away from the core competencies here, which are to encourage families to learn together and children to be successful in school. So we could not have done this without ESCH. ESCH has been involved with the Children's Museum since its earliest days. And indeed, when we've had transition in our staff, including the CEO position, which is my position as executive director, ESCH has been there to provide the transition and the foundation of thinking so that we had stable but best practices in place. The Children's Museum, even since its earliest years, has been a place that seems not to be big enough. Even though we've just gone through an expansion, once again we're finding that we're overcrowded. So when you're dealing with the public, when you're dealing with unlimited inputs, if you will, and random numbers of people coming, people from different walks of life, different perspectives, they use the building in different ways. And when you are dealing with children, our audience is basically birth through 12 years of age, you have a huge responsibility to provide a safe environment. When you have as many people coming to a public place and you have all the different kinds of dynamic activities that we have at the Children's Museum, you have to run a place that is very conscious of safety for families. The Children's Museum exists to transform communities through innovative child-centered learning. We've been in business since the early 80s, and Houston is one of the few places in the United States that actually has an expanding child market. So we've expanded, double the size of the museum in spring of 2009, and we're serving about 700,000 people a year from all walks of life, from all states and countries, but primarily serving the 5-county area around Houston. We focus on early literacy, mathematics, and science, and parent engagement. Parents are the first teachers of their children, and the museum is basically a laboratory where they can come and certainly enjoy their children in their free time, but also they can pick up lots and lots of important ideas of how they can continue the learning at home, and how the kinds of activities that they can learn how to do at the Children's Museum actually extends the learning for school. So that basically children are ready to be successful in school, and we think are learning the skills that will help them be successful throughout life.